Let me tell you something that most people are going to completely miss in 2026. And I don't mean miss like, oh well, better luck next time. I mean miss like watching a flight take off while you're still in the parking lot. The window is open right now, and most people are too distracted, too comfortable, or just too uninformed to even notice it. So, in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why 2026 is genuinely one of the best years in recent history to build serious wealth. And no, this isn't one of those think positive and manifest your money videos. This is actually why the conditions right now in 2026 are stacking up in a way they haven't in a long time. Let's start with something uncomfortable. The last 5 years basically broke the old rules of money. Inflation went crazy, interest rates jumped, the job market got weird, remote work changed everything. And what happened? A whole bunch of people lost money doing what their parents told them to do, sitting in a stable job, keeping savings in the bank, not touching the stock market because it was too risky. And while those people were being safe, a completely different group quietly got richer. Not because they were geniuses, not because they had connections, but because understood the moment they were living in. That's the whole game. Understanding your moment. And right now, in 2026, there are some very specific things happening that most people are just not paying attention to. The first one is the AI displacement wave. Look, I know everyone talks about AI, but nobody is actually connecting it to the wealth opportunity hiding inside it. Right now, companies are cutting entire departments, and the people who understand how to use AI tools are getting hired at higher salaries to replace 3 people doing the same job. But here's the real opportunity nobody's talking about. The actual tools themselves are cheaper and more powerful than ever. You can build things today with no-code or low-code tools that would have cost you a development team of 5 people just 3 years ago. An app, a digital product, an automation service for local businesses, all of it. The barrier to entry just got demolished, and most people are still standing at the door like it's locked. The second thing happening right now is the trust recession. This sounds weird, so let me explain. People have genuinely stopped trusting big brands. They trust individual creators, small communities, niche experts. This is a huge deal because the cost of becoming someone's go-to person in a specific niche has never been lower. You don't need a TV show. You don't need a magazine, you need a YouTube channel, a newsletter, or even a really focused social media presence where you consistently show up and give people useful information. And when people trust you, they buy from you. Not in a gross, manipulative way, just in the simple, human way where we give our money to people and things we believe in. That trust, once you build it, becomes an asset that pays you over and over. Now here's the third thing, and this one really matters. The wealth transfer happening right now is genuinely one of the biggest in history. Older generations are retiring and passing down businesses, real estate, and assets on a scale we haven't seen before. At the same time, the businesses they built are struggling because they don't understand digital. Think about how many local service businesses, insurance agencies, law firms, retail stores, and clinics are looking for someone who actually knows how to run Google Ads, manage their online reputation, or even just set up a proper website. These businesses already have customers, already have revenue. They just need someone digitally capable. That's not a hard gap to fill, and there's genuinely good money on the other side of it. The fourth shift is one that sounds almost too simple, and that's exactly why people overlook it. The income sources that were considered side hustles a few years ago are now legitimate businesses. Selling digital products, building niche content channels, running a small service agency, licensing your skill set as a subscription. These are not little experiments anymore. They are working business models with real revenue, real customers, and real exit potential. And the infrastructure around them, the payment platforms, the distribution channels, the audience platforms, all of it has matured to the point where running one of these from your laptop is a completely normal thing. The stigma is gone. The tools are there. What's missing is usually just the decision to start. Now, I want to be really honest with you here because I don't want this to be another video that makes you feel motivated for 20 minutes and then you go back to scrolling. The reason 2026 is a good year to get rich is not because money is just going to fall in your lap. It's because the specific conditions right now are lowering friction between a person with regular skills and an actual income. The information gap is smaller, the startup cost is smaller, the distribution is free, the tools are accessible. What that means is that the excuses that were real 5 years ago are not as real anymore. You don't need a lot of money to start making money. You need a skill, a person to serve, and a way to reach them. That's genuinely it. But most people are still waiting for the right time, waiting to feel ready, waiting for someone to give them permission. And while they're waiting, someone with the exact same starting point is already 2 months into something that's going to change their financial life. That gap between the person who started and the person who's still thinking about starting, that gap grows every single month. Here's what I'd actually encourage you to do, not as theory, but as a real step. Look at what you already know how to do, and then go look at who needs that skill and doesn't have it. That overlap, that little gap between what you know and what someone else needs, that is where the money lives. Then figure out the simplest possible way to get paid for it. Not the perfect way, the simplest way, because simple and started beats perfect and stuck every single time. The people who are going to look back at 2026 and say, that was the year everything changed for me, are not going to be the people who found some secret. They're going to be the people who paid attention, picked something real, and actually moved on it. The window doesn't stay open forever, but it is open right now, and that genuinely matters. Now, if you're sitting here thinking, okay, I understand the opportunity, but how do I actually make my first real money from this? I already made a video on exactly that. It breaks down how to make your first $10,000 step by step in a way that actually makes sense for someone starting from zero. No fluff, no theory, just the actual path. Go watch that one next. It picks up exactly where this one ends.